If you had to guess what the most remade track in Mario Kart history is, what would you guess? I mean, it's obviously one of the more popular or iconic tracks, like DS Waluigi Pinball, N64 Luigi Raceway, or hell, maybe even SNES Rainbow Road. Well, you would actually be right. SNES Rainbow Road is the most remade track in Mario Kart history, with it being present in 5 games: Super Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Mario Kart Tour. However, it actually has to share that honor with the most random track in history: SNES Mario Circuit 3. Yes, your ears did not deceive you. SNES Mario Circuit 3 has been a playable track in 5 Mario Kart games: Super Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and of course, Mario Kart Tour. This got me thinking: how? Why? And what is the entire history of this track from the moment of its inception until this current nanosecond that I am writing this script? Well, let's dive in. As early as 1990, Nintendo were flirting with the idea of a potential racing game. The first Mario Kart game, Super Mario Kart, was initially beginning development as a multiplayer option to F-Zero. The team aimed to produce a racing game capable of displaying 2 players on the same game screen simultaneously, in contrast to the single-player F-Zero. This led to simpler tracks than those of F-Zero. One prototype featured a generic kart racer character. The team decided that characters 3 heads tall would best suit the design of the karts. After the development team observed how one kart looked to another driving past it, they decided to see what it would like with Mario in the kart. Thinking that having Mario in the kart looked better than previous designs, the idea of a Mario Kart was first born. On the 1st of September 1992, Super Mario Kart released to the North American public. For future reference, due to my location in North America, I will use the North American release date for everything possible. This was only a year after the release of Super Mario World. Because of its proximity, the Mario Kart game took inspiration from the levels of the platformer for its tracks. I mean, come on. Donut Plains, Chocolate Island, Vanilla Dome? Due to hardware memory limitations, the courses needed to be similar. That's why we got 2 Vanilla Lakes, 2 Koopa Beaches, 2 Choco Islands, 3 Donut Plains, 3 Ghost Valleys, 3 Bowser's Castles, and 4 Mario Circuits. It's very well plausible that if the SNES didn't have such hardware memory limitations, I would be writing a script for something completely different. However, I absolutely would if Nintendo didn't decide to do a very bold move. On the 27th of August 2001, Mario Kart Super Circuit released to North American audiences. The previous iteration, Mario Kart 64, was released on the 10th of February 1997, featured only 16 tracks, down 4 from Super Mario Kart. Mario Kart Super Circuit bumped the number back up to 20, introducing the new Lightning Cup. Seeing as this game had 20 courses, the same as the very first edition, Nintendo decided that if you were to win gold and also pick up 100 coins in a single Grand Prix, you would unlock the retro tracks. This was the first time in Mario Kart history that tracks from other games were brought back, of course, not including N64 bringing back Mario Circuits, Bowser Castles, and Rainbow Roads. This meant that all the Super Mario Kart tracks one-upped on the N64 courses, having appeared in 2 Mario Kart games. On the 14th of November 2005, North America got to play Mario Kart DS before anybody else. This game did one better than Super Circuit because 16 tracks, 4 from each of the previous 4 games, were brought back in the very first modern retro track selection. However, our protagonist, SNES Mario Circuit 3, was not chosen for Mario Kart DS. That should be a surprise to nobody. Of course, the first modern retro track selection would always have Mario Circuit 1 to be the first retro track. With one of them already done, another one was just redundant. That's why Nintendo went for Donut Plains 1, Koopa Beach 2, and Choco Island 2. However, on the 27th of April 2008, Mario Kart Wii was released, once again including 16 retro tracks. From this point onwards, Mario Kart games were really mean to the Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart Super Circuit tracks, as only 2 from each game was selected for Mario Kart Wii. Ghost Valley 2 from the Shell Cup, and to kick off the final cup in the game, SNES Mario Circuit 3. Yes, that's right. SNES Mario Circuit 3 kicked off the Lightning Cup in Mario Kart Wii. Anyways, Mario Kart 7 and Vanilla 8 didn't like to reuse tracks from previous games, but on the 13th of November 2014, only 5.5 months after the initial release of the game, DLC was announced for the Wii U version of the game. Another batch of tracks was released on the 23rd of May 2015, less than a week shy of the 1-year anniversary of the game's launch. However, neither batch included SNES Mario Circuit 3, but the first batch did include SNES Rainbow Road, meaning that, since the latter was the final track of Mario Kart 7, temporarily, SNES Rainbow Road was the most remade track in Mario Kart history. However, on the 25th of September 2019, Nintendo announced a mobile version of Mario Kart, called Mario Kart Tour for iOS and Android devices. On the second tour in the game's history, the Tokyo Tour, beginning the 9th of October 2019, SNES Rainbow Road was remade again, bumping its total up to 5, with Mario Circuit 3 only at 3. However, SNES Mario Circuit 3 would make a comeback. Obviously. That's why I'm talking about it. During the Paris tour from November 6 to November 19, 2019, SNES Mario Circuit 3 was added into Mario Kart Tour, meaning that all we needed was to wait for Mario Kart 9 to be released. Oh wow! On the 9th of February 2022, Nintendo announced the release of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, which would double the number of tracks in the game to 96. They would port tracks from Mario Kart Tour into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to sort of preserve their work. Many people caught on to it because, look at the graphical difference between Moo Moo Meadows and Tokyo Blur. Since SNES Rainbow Road was already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they couldn't bring that track into the game twice. This meant, to tie the record, we needed Nintendo to bring SNES Mario Circuit 3 into the Booster Course Pass. The first wave was released on March 18, 2022, with no Mario Circuit 3. Oh well. On the 4th of August 2022, the second wave of the Booster Course Pass was dropped with guess what track in the second slot of the Turnip Cup? SNES Mario Circuit 3. This meant that the most remade track in Mario Kart history was tied between the first Rainbow Road, the only track alongside Bowser Castle and Mario Circuit to be remade in every game, and the third Super Mario Kart Mario Circuit, the least good one. With 5 iterations in Super Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart Tour, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the worst SNES Mario Circuit is tied for the most remade track in the history of the franchise. Mario Circuit 1 is understandable since it's the first one, and it's alright. Mario Circuit 2 has that cool jump. Ever since I was a 3-year-old playing this game, I knew I would be meant to spread Mario Circuit 2 propaganda. And Mario Circuit 4 is kinda cool, and definitely would work with Mario Kart 8's anti-gravity. But no, the one with the somewhat decent shortcut was chosen. Thank you all for watching. I would like to preface that uploads on this channel will be far from consistent because this is not my main channel. If you are interested in history, my main channel is shown on screen and linked in the description. However, if we get, I'll say 6 likes, then I will post more videos on this channel, 100% guarantee.